I've watched hundreds of anime and read hundreds of manga, and there have been some good ones and some not so good ones. And these not so good ones though, I've found several things these series do that hurt their appeal. As a disclaimer, these are my opinions and not everyone may agree with what I have to say. There may be different things that can hurt your experience of an anime or manga. I'm going to go in order for what I think hurts animes and mangas the least to what hurts them the most. I'm not going to include things that creators can't control or are highly subjective, such as a series being too short or a series adopting a genre that I don't like, because with everyone, including myself, there are some genres that we love and hate. And as a manga or anime is being released, there can be some unforeseen factors that could cut a series short. So, without further ado, let's get into the first one, which is using generic character tropes. With a lot of anime and manga, you'll get character tropes like the character that comes from nothing and becomes something, the silent character, the manipulator, the knowledgeable oracle, the character in one world that goes to another, the non-human. All these tropes and many more are present in anime and manga. And when anime and manga only use these tropes as their main draw, that hurts their series a bit. Because if you're a casual anime and manga viewer, you're pretty much viewing the same story again, just with a different location, different characters, all that. Now I put this low because there are a lot of series that use these generic tropes well. A lot of Shonen Jump series, such as Naruto, Bleach, all that stuff, use these tropes. And if you're a younger person reading series with characters from generic tropes, it generally won't be an issue. Now let's get into the next thing that can hurt an anime and manga's appeal, which is a linear plotline. You want to do something, you need help, you get help. You come across evil monsters, you defeat these monsters. You reach a final boss, you defeat the final boss, and get what you want. These linear plotlines some of these stories use are very predictable, and it can hurt the excitement with some, but not all of these anime and manga. I think series like Monster and Code Geass are great because they use the most non-linear and unpredictable plotlines, but series such as My Hero Academia and Kuroko's Basketball are series that are very predictable, and while they're not bad series, I could easily predict what would happen next in the story. This ruined a little bit of the excitement I had with these stories. A series that has a linear plotline that I really enjoy is Fist and North Star. I think it's a great series and I believe everyone should view it at least once. But the plot is very straightforward. This is one of the examples where a story would have a linear plotline but would still be a great series, and this is why I put this pretty low on the list. Now let's get to the next one. Having too many irrelevant characters. I think having a good character cast is good, but when the main focus of a story changes from different side characters to side characters that aren't related too much to the main plot, that's when things can get a little confusing. And when there are characters that are there just to be there in the story, it makes me think that the creators were just too lazy to develop some of their other characters. One Piece is an example of a series that has way too many characters. I can't remember over 50% of them because they come at you so fast and then they disappear. The appeal of having a lot of characters in a series is still there for audiences, and I know some people that like reading or watching stories with a bunch of characters, but I personally don't like it when there are too many characters to focus on. Alright, on to the next one, which is unnecessary events and arcs. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. People don't like filler, they don't like to be sidetracked from the main story. Naruto and Bleach do this a lot, but I know that there's some filler out there that's actually pretty good, so I'll just go straight to the next one. That's arcs and or events that drag on for way too long. When I read manga or watch anime, I like interesting events and arcs, but when I see the same arc going on for a long time, I start to get bored. I especially don't like it when these arcs don't set up the rest of the story. I feel like it's just wasted time. A lot of good series suffer from this, and it's mainly in the longer series that these problems exist. Hunter x Hunter is a series that has decently paced arcs, and then you get to the Chimera Ant arc, and that arc just takes way too long and is dragged out a lot. Almost made me want to drop the show. This is something that can turn a good series into a not so enjoyable one. This next one is somewhat self-explanatory, and that's uninteresting characters and motivations. When you read manga or watch anime, you want to be compelled with the characters and their motivations. You want the characters to go all or nothing for what they need to achieve. Stories that don't do this, for me personally, aren't that interesting. I want to see characters go lengths and bounds for what they want, and creators need to make their characters suffer. Characters can't be in a good mood all the time, because most of them adopt human personas. This means that they have their low moments just like us, and it's important for creators to show this in their works. This is something that can turn a good series into a bad one, but There's one more thing that, no matter what the series is, can turn a great series into one of the worst. That is having horrible starts and or uninteresting starts. I can't tell you how many animes or mangas I've dropped because of their horrible starts. Because it's been so many. Most anime and manga are meant to be watched in order, and if the beginning of the series is bad, that makes me just want to drop the series. Nobody has time to be watching a bunch of bad episodes or reading a bunch of bad chapters just to get to a point where the series is somewhat good. And the thing is, this is something the creators have full control over. Anime and manga are like food at a store. If it looks good, no matter how bad it may taste, or no matter how bad it is for your health, you will buy it over something that looks bad but tastes good and maybe more healthier. The start of animes and mangas are the most important parts of them. And if they can't deliver, the series won't get a lot of traction, which will lead to them being considered not good. So that's all the things that I think ruin the appeals of animes and mangas. Is there anything I missed? Is there anything else that you may think ruins animes and mangas? Let me know. Also, just because some series do this doesn't mean you should just avoid them and not view them. I recommend that for any series you're interested in, you should give it a shot and see if you like it. These are just some observations at the end of the day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.